Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today I have a mechanical pencil that was suggested by several viewers of the channel. And I really owe those people a debt of gratitude because I was skeptical of this pencil at first, but it has really won me over. And I think part of the reason for that is that up until this point, I've sort of felt that, especially with my top 10, I don't want to say that there's something missing so much as that there was something not quite right about certain aspects of pencils that I've had in my top 10. And that what I've really come to realize about myself as a mechanical pencil user is that the weight of a pencil really does make a huge difference for me. And many of the pencils that I have in my top 10 are great pencils, and I would recommend them to anyone so long as I was sure that the user of that pencil was really getting what they wanted out of the pencil. In other words, if they like heavier pencils, I'm going to recommend a heavier mechanical pencil to them. If they don't, there are aspects of pencils that I've had in my top 10 that I've been a little uneasy about the fact that they're so weighty. And it was this pencil that I'm going to review today that has really sort of, I want to say, gotten me out of the funk of having mechanical pencils in my top 10 that I've been personally skeptical about recommending to people. I feel like I've now found a mechanical pencil that I'm prepared to put in my top 10 that is going to cause me to completely rearrange my top 10 to really be something that is what I really like and what I feel good about recommending to people. And, pencils that I have existing on the top 10 currently are still going to be honorable mentions, and I'm still going to recommend them to people. But what I'm going to try to do in this video is make a case for you as to why this particular pencil has really caused me to redefine what I define as a great mechanical pencil and what belongs in my top 10. So let's jump right in at this point. The pencil that I'll be reviewing today is the Pentel PG100X. And of course, whenever I use X for the model number for a Pentel mechanical pencil, I'm referring to the fact that that last digit is always different, and the last digit always refers to what the specific lead thickness is for that particular pencil. So this pencil, you see, has 0.5 in large letters on the right-hand side, and it says PG1005 Japan. This was a pencil that I ordered on eBay and was sent from Japan and took quite a bit of time to get to me to the United States. And you can see that it's quite different looking than most Pentel mechanical pencils in that it is indeed a limited edition. And many of you would recognize that if you know this model, the Pentel Graph 1000 for Pro, as it's known in the United States, this pencil normally comes in a jet black color, and the only difference is if you see this little white ring right here where the cap is, this white ring and the background of the lead hardness indicator is the only thing that is the different color on various lead thickness sizes of this particular mechanical pencil. And so this is a 70 years limited edition. And so Pentel was founded in Japan in 1946. And so one of the signals that you know that this was manufactured in Japan is that Pentel didn't come to the United States until the 1960s. And so you know that this is of Japanese manufacturer because it says 70 years since 1946. This is an anniversary limited edition for Japan, not the United States. And you can see it's in a lovely metallic gold color. It also comes in primary colors like navy blue and I believe a red in this limited edition. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the key features of the Graph 1000 for Pro because I was initially very skeptical of this pencil. And I was skeptical because of the grip. I'm sensitive about grips, and this grip is reminiscent of several other Pentel mechanical pencil grips that I want to compare it to at this point. And so I'm going to move this down and let's compare it to some other grips. Let's just go ahead and cut straight to the chase. Here it is. The Pentel Graph Gear 1000, not to be confused with the Graph 1000 for Pro, which is the bottom version. You'll notice that there are silicone rubber nubs on each of these pencils. They're sort of oval in shape, a very eccentric oval on the Graph Gear 1000, and they are more of an elongated, rounded corner rectangle on the Graph 1000 for Pro. Many of you who view the channel know that I am not a fan of the Graph Gear 1000, and that surprises a lot of people. Sorry, not sorry. My biggest concern for the Graph Gear 1000 is the weight. It has a lot of really great features. It is pocket safe, and for a pocket safe pencil, it has a really sturdy lead sleeve, which is uncommon amongst pocket safe pencils. I will recommend the Graph Gear 1000 to anyone, any day. If you like weighty pencils, it's going to be a go-to for you. If you don't like weighty pencils, that could be a concern. My other big concern with the Graph Gear 1000 is the feel of the grip. This isn't a very sharp knurling, and the silicone nubs aren't really doing anything for me at all. They don't really enhance the gripability of the Graph Gear 1000, in my opinion. Now, this is not the only Pentel mechanical pencil that has this styling of grip. Available at retail and Target now, and I have not yet reviewed this on the channel, is the Graph Gear 800, sort of the little brother or little sister of the Graph Gear 1000. And you can see that it's similar in that it has a very nice pocket clip. It is not pocket safe. This is a 0.7 millimeter variant, and so this is PG807. So this is the PG80X series, because they do come in different lead sizes. And the silicone nubs are much more raised on the Graph Gear 800, and instead of having a knurling, it's more like the Graph 1000 for Pro. The only difference really is the height of the silicone nubs. So if you sort of look at a cross section of a profile, I should say, of the Graph 1000 for Pro, those silicone nubs do not stick up very much. They stick up much more on the Graph Gear 800. And so that's a key difference between it. And when I review the Graph Gear 800, I'll give my impressions of the grip of the Graph Gear 800. I like the grip of the Graph Gear 800 better than the grip of the Graph Gear 1000. Of course, the Graph Gear 1000, the main benefit to it is the retractable lead sleeve. Very nice feature. Okay, all Z2-1 erasers on all of them. And so for erasers, not any difference. And then finally, a discontinued Pentel mechanical pencil, the Pentel Smash, has raised silicone nubs and a matte finish underneath it, also metal. It's not like the stainless steel of the Graph Gear 800. I'm pretty sure it's probably aluminum. I don't know for sure. Okay. But I prefer the grip of the Pentel Smash to either the Graph Gear 1000 or the Graph Gear 800. It just feels better. These are quite raised. The silicone nubs are. But this feels better in my hand. And I think part of it is the thickness of the grip. Okay, it is a thinner grip than the Graph Gear 800. And the knurling, which doesn't really do anything for me, and the nubs, which don't really do anything for me on the Graph Gear 1000, this is just overall a better grip experience for me personally. You'll notice that there is indeed the lead hardness indicator on the Pentel Smash. There's a lead hardness indicator on the Graph Gear 1000. There is not a lead hardness indicator on the Graph Gear 800. And when we get down to the pencil of the hour, so to speak right now, the Graph 1000 for Pro, you get everything all wrapped up into a nice little package. Now, if you view the channel, you also know that I'm a huge fan of the Pentel Sharp series. It is more of a budget end mechanical pencil, that very cheap but elegant engineering design. The Graph 1000 for Pro is reminiscent to me of what I would do if I were to upgrade the Pentel Sharp. And that's part of the reason why I love the Graph 1000 for Pro. It does what the Pentel Sharp does, but it has a lot more features to it. And so I'm going to go ahead and run down the rating scale for the Graph 1000 for Pro, let you know what my pros and cons are about it. I really struggled to find cons with this pencil. It really surprised me. But let's go ahead and run down the rating scale all the same. And I'm going to start with a mouthful of a name on this one. Pentel, let's get the model number in there, PG100X, reflecting the fact that it comes in a wide variety of different lead sizes. And let's just go ahead and write down what those lead sizes are. It comes in 0.3, 0.4, which is an uncommon lead size for mechanical pencils, much more common in Japan. 0.5. I guess I don't want to say it's common in Japan. You can get it in Japan, but I would not call it a lead size that is as frequently used as 0.3 or 0.5. 0.7 and 0.9. I kind of want to collect a whole set of these because I like them just so gosh darn much. Now, we got to keep going, though. This is the Graph 1000 4 Pro. So there we go. There's our mouthful of a title on this thing. Let's run down the rating scale. We're going to start with writing experience. I've now written with this pencil for several weeks, and I have enjoyed using it every single moment that I've written with it. This style of silicone grip works for me. And honestly, I don't know what it is about it that works for me. There isn't anything that stands out for me about it other than the fact that it is brutally well balanced. Let's see if we can find the balance point on this. It's brutally well balanced. It's lightweight, and the grip is not too raised on the silicone nubs, but not too recessed into the pencil. I just love it. And it really surprised me because I did not expect this at all. I saw those silicone nubs and I was like, I don't think that's going to work for me. Quality, Pentel high quality. It's got a brass clutch in there. It is plastic for a majority of it, except for the pocket clip. And I'm pretty sure this is, I don't want to say chromed because I don't know that that's the right terminology, but this is plastic, I believe, at the bottom here. But it's still a solid writing instrument. It's reminiscent to me of the Pentel Sharp series. Pentel Sharp series is injection molded plastic, but still a really great piece of engineering. Features? Other than pocket safety, it's great on everything. I want to run down some of the features for you. I spent some time talking about the grip and how we have our brass clutch. In my last video, I talked about the differences between, or the benefits, I should say, of a brass clutch as compared to a plastic clutch. We have a brass clutch here. Strong metal pocket clip. Pretty understated. Okay. The eraser cap, we take it off, revealing the standard Pentel Z2-1 eraser, has a lead hardness indicator on it, and many people on the channel have asked me about this. This is there is not a sticker, as far as I can tell, that is printed on the lead hardness indicator on the plastic. And so many people are concerned about lead hardness indicators that have stickers. It also clicks into place to advance to each of the different lead hardnesses. One thing that I'm a little surprised at as I click through these, you'll notice that it goes from B to 3H. I would personally prefer 2B on the lead hardness indicator. I don't use any other lead types other than HB or 2B, so it doesn't really matter to me. Basically, for me, I would have HB selected, or if I had B selected, I would know that it's 2B because I only ever load HB or 2B into my mechanical pencil. So that, I really had to stretch to find a con with it. But for me, the fact that the lead hardness indicator doesn't go to 2B is an issue for me. Another feature that might be surprising to people is that this pencil comes with a lead jam clearer. This is becoming less and less common. Now, this is a pencil that was produced as a limited edition in 2016. And so it's not that old. We have a nice oversized Z2-1 eraser. We have the lead jam clearer. And so that's a nice little feature that you don't tend to get on mechanical pencils unless they are drafting pencils. And if this pencil is truly for pros or for professionals, you would expect a lead jam clearer so that you can clear out any jams that you get as you go along. Now, when I replace the cap, you'll notice that the lead size is also on the end cap, the eraser cap. And so, that's a feature if you're storing pencils down like this. I don't store my pencils tip down because to me that's how tips can get damaged. But I suppose if people have a mechanical pencil around and they're focused on their work and they want to be able to grab the exact lead size that they want, it's printed on the cap if that's a useful feature for you. Another thing that I want to point out in terms of the quality is that the lead dock of the Graph 1000 for Pro is pretty solid. There is not a lot of how do I want to say this? There's not a lot of wiggle in the eraser dock, which wiggle in eraser docks really bothers me. The poster child for wiggle in eraser docks is Unicura Toga pencils. It drives me crazy because they are so wiggly with the eraser docks. I don't like that. But this is just an overall great pencil. Oh, cost. You have a lot of options here. I've already mentioned the different lead sizes that the pencil comes in. But let's sort of run down what your options here. So for the limited editions, this is one of the limited editions. Just came out in 2016. 25 USD, including ship, I think, on eBay. Okay, and this is coming from Japan. So it's going to take a while to get to the States if you're in the United States. The basic models, as I said, come in a wide variety of different lead sizes. They're all jet black with jet black silicone nubs. But the difference is in the standard Pentel coloration of this little white mark that you see on this Graph 1000 for Pro. So the standard colors for Pentel are brown for 0.3, I believe orange for 0.4, blue for, well, is it blue for 0.5? I think it's black for 0.5 on this model, blue for 0.7, a light blue, a sky blue for 0.7, and yellow for 0.9 is the standard Pentel coloration for different lead sizes for their pencils. And so for basic models, you can get them on Amazon Prime for about 10 USD for the more common lead thicknesses. You might have to pay a little bit more for 0.4 or 0.7 or 0.9, but 0.3 and 0.5 I know are 10 USD Amazon Prime. And JetPens sells these as well for 14 USD in all of the lead sizes. And so you have some options for purchase for this. I really struggled to find cons for this pencil. But my cons are the fact that it's not pocket safe. Well, duh. Okay, pocket safety is a useful feature, but you're sacrificing the precision of the writing experience when you do that. And then another con is that the lead hardness indicator doesn't go to 2B. That's a pretty minor con in my eyes. Like, I really have to struggle to find something that I don't like about this pencil, which is usually an indication that, for me, it deserves a place of honor. And this will be going into my top 10. I'll explain that in a moment. All sorts of pros to this pencil. Let's just write them out. It's beautifully balanced and lightweight. It has just a little extra heft compared to the Pentel Sharp series. And I really like that about it. Great grip. Not too smooth, not too rough. It has a strong pocket clip. Brass clutch. We will not have any lead dust sticking to the clutch in this pencil. It's more likely to fall out the lead sleeve. Z2-1 eraser with a lead jam clearer. It has a lead hardness indicator, which on a drafting mechanical pencil, I would definitely classify this as a typical drafting mechanical pencil. Just has so much going for it. I love it. And so what has this pencil induced in me, so to speak? Well, it's really caused me to refine in my brain what it is that I really like about a great mechanical pencil. And what it comes down to is that my top 10 needs a revision. And I just did a big shakeup of my top 10 in February of this year, 2017. But I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I've sort of reached a catharsis that it was induced by this pencil. And so my top 10 list is going to undergo a major revision. Now I'm going to do a companion piece to my top 10 list. I'm going to do it sometime this summer, either in June or July. I haven't really decided. I've already sort of mapped out how my top 10 list is going to change based upon this. And yes, I realize I did a top 10 video just 3.5 months ago. Okay, I'm not doing it just to shake things up. You know, I'm doing it because I'm going to be much more satisfied with this top 10 list after I do it. And so sometime in June or July, the companion piece is that I'm going to have a extensive honorable mentions list of many of the pencils that we all know and love that in my eyes don't really have a place in my personal top 10, but I would not hesitate to recommend to anyone. And so that video is coming up as well. I'm going to do almost 24 pencils on my honorable mentions list because there's just so many great mechanical pencils that I want to share with all of you and that I want you to consider so that you can find the best mechanical pencil for you. It's okay for us to differ. I know that there are Graph Gear 1000 fans out there, and more power to you. I'm glad that you like it. I don't. We can disagree. That's okay. But my top 10 is going to be, for me personally, what I consider to be the best mechanical pencils that I can't do without. And then I'm going to recommend lots of great honorable mentions to other people in the audience. And so maybe this is a surprise to you. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Leave a comment down in the comments section. Does my reaction to the Graph 1000 for Pro surprise you? Not surprise you? Anger you? What are your feelings on it? Go ahead and share that down in the comments. And once again, thanks for watching. You're watching Clutch Situation here on YouTube, and I'm going to continue to give you insight into mechanical pencil collecting and use. It's a great hobby. It's an inexpensive hobby. There are a lot of great mechanical pencils out there, and so if a writing utensil matters to you, this is the channel for you in terms of mechanical pencils. And I hope that you find something here that you like. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.